Salutations, fellow Roboteers, your friendly neighborhood Voltsicle here. And, yeah, we're gonna talk about a few different things today. Um, the first thing I want to do actually is jump over to something outside of the game. And, I want to talk a little bit about community. So here I've got one of my posts that's archived from about 8 months ago. This was sort of a fan fiction I did of such, introducing the power of the PSU. This is back when there was a lot of talk about gun beds and things of that nature, and I had this idea that you could add what is essentially a module, or what is like the mega module right now, to your bot, and it would affect the way your weapons would function, giving that so like if you used more than 6 guns, they weren't as powerful, or they wouldn't do as much damage, or it wouldn't fire as fast, things like that. Um, Anyways, it was just like a fun little piece that I wrote up, and I tried to sort of do it in the style that Free Jam writes or things, talking about like little references, like a little BTF or BTTF reference there, or um, I don't know if you've read any of their posts about like new things coming out or their Robo news. That's sort of in that style. And I even found an antiquated RoboCraft picture to kind of give an example of what it might look like. Um, but yeah, and the reason I'm showing this is I want to talk about community feedback, specifically on the Reddit. This is where I'm mostly uh, active on. I don't really do the free jam forums. I've never been a forum kind of guy myself. So if I'm not using Twitch, I'm using Reddit. I'm kind of getting into Twitter right now, and YouTube as well. But as far as actual feedback goes, this is my main venue. And right away, I'm gonna just quickly look over here at the rules, and you can very clearly see. Don't be toxic. Sorry, keep it clean and constructive. Uh, and that's a very important thing. When we're talking about giving feedback to Free Jam, or giving them ideas, you have to be that. You have to be imaginative. You have to be constructive. You have to understand that you're not just telling them what they did wrong, because telling them what they did wrong doesn't necessarily help them. Um, so let's just kind of take another look here. So this was just like a little fun thing. It wasn't necessarily a serious balance change or anything like that. I just kind of want to have a little fun with the suggestion. These here are ones I did about 5 months ago. And before you ask, the reason I'm using only my posts is because I don't want to pick apart somebody else's post and have them take offense to it. Not to say that I couldn't and be constructive about it, but I don't want to send out the wrong message that way. So I'm just going to pick apart my own posts for that matter. Um, so this was my compendium of ideas to add features to RoboCraft. So you know what? Let's go through a couple of them. So like downloading, have both Steam and standalone clients can be counterproductive, because I never used Steam. So I said to them, wouldn't it just be nice to have one platform? So, and this was at a time where updates were having issues getting through. So if you had the Steam version, you actually would get the update, whereas the RoboCraft launcher, that wasn't getting updates properly. They've now fixed this. They have a new launcher, so this is kind of redundant. Same thing with loading times. That's a big one they did actually fix. The lobby, this hasn't changed. This is pretty much the same. They've changed it a little bit. Um, they've done work on the cube inventory and the cube store as well. The tech tree is even more redundant now than it's ever been. They've actually changed it, but I still think it's a little redundant. Same thing with social and excuse me, and CRF is still relatively new. But these were things that I was kind of going through and saying, I don't know about this, I don't like about this, this doesn't make sense, kind of thing. Oh yeah, oh my God, wall of text, not reading any of this. And then I go into some more talking about different things. Oh my God, another wall of text. Build more, build more, build more. Weapon selector. Should not be based on the proximity to the seat. This is when we still had pilot seats. Oh my god. Different types of symmetry, um, cutting and pasting. And this is just me, trying to give some very well, I reference things to like Kerbal Space Program. I'm just trying to give like reference points, some ideas, just kind of what's on my mind, and where that goes from there. Um, and this leads me to this one. This was about 4 months ago. There was a lot of hate going towards Free Jam, and uh, just this word for word. You guys got to remember that this is the lead developers, the founding members of Free Jam. This is their baby. They love it so much. That's why they work so hard. And when you're just some keyboard commando and you go on their forums or you go on Reddit and you say like lol I quit, RP games suck, and just all this negative, toxic, unconstructive, unprofessional, rude, just downright juvenile feedback, you got to imagine what it would be like for you to have a dream. And if somebody was saying that to you about that kind of stuff, how that would really make you feel. And some people say, "Oh, I'm a hard ass. That'd make me feel like I could kick that guy's ass," or something like that. But in a real mature situation, honestly, they're trying their best. They want to make a product for us, a game for us, that they can share their idea, and they want to take our feedback. They want to do something for us, but you have to also imagine that this is for them. This is their idea, their baby, their design. You see, even Drognin, our community manager, chiming in here, and even he does say that most of the feedback is pretty well communicated and constructive. It's just a few bad apples that, and it's the angry people that we hear the most when you're working at a job and you're having to deal with customers. The thousand silent, very happy customers you have don't even measure up to the one or two people that are so pissed off because you screwed up this one thing and they want to complain to your boss in your head office and call the police or some shit just because this one customer had one thing go wrong. They definitely sound the loudest, and it's the thousands of people that are happy that are often the quietest, which is unfortunate, but that's just kind of the way people are. And this leads me to my next thing here is the Free Jam's vision. So Free Jam posted sort of a series of forum posts talking about them realizing their vision, what they want RoboCraft to be, because RoboCraft didn't launch perfectly as they envisioned. It's a work in progress. They still say it's in its alpha phase. They're still working and developing on it. It just got to a point where it was playable, and they said, well, let's let people play it and use their feedback, use the community to help develop the game. That's what an alpha and a beta, closed beta and open beta. That's what those are for. Is to help create the game, to help reach the final product. And it doesn't even have to be the final product. There's a lot of games out there that are continuing to evolve, continuing to develop well after release. And this kind of talks about it from my perspective. And I want to say, you know what, I read your vision, and this is what I thought on it. And believe me, there's a lot of things I don't agree with Free Jam on. But again, they hear enough of that. They don't always need to hear what you don't agree with. Tell them some of the things you do agree with, because then that can help to vilify their thoughts on, maybe they don't know if they did something right, and they don't hear enough feedback to know if they did it right, and you get one of those patches that come out of left field and say, hey, we changed this, we toned it down a little bit, and then people freak out. They're like, no, 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 it's perfect. Why did you change it? And it's like, well, maybe nobody told them it was perfect. Maybe nobody said that it's at a really good spot. So, the positive feedback is just as good as the constructive slash negative feedback, done in a constructive way. I shouldn't say positive, negative. I should say, what should I say? I don't know. But the saying what they did right and what they did wrong, sort of, or how they could do it better. And I go in talking about this, and unfortunately, this particular post got a bit flamey as well because I kind of let this one die out. I stopped posting in here because people they get passionate about these kind of changes and who's saying what and who's tweeting what, and there's arguments, and people have different interpretations of what is said too. You know, I've always told people and have been told that text is the worst form of communication in the world. That you can't tell tone, there's no body language, there's no emotion behind it. It's very hard to properly communicate through just text by itself. I mean, short of reading something like Shakespeare, which I'm pretty sure Mark isn't going to write patch notes in that sort of way. Um, we're just not gonna reach that level. So there's gonna be a little miscommunication here and there, and that can lead to different things. And sometimes it's back to just open posts, like saying, "Hey, what did you like about this new update that came out 2 months ago?" A lot of people were like, "Hate this, hate this, hate this." Okay, that's fine. You know what? You want to say, I don't like this change. I don't like this change. I don't like this change. Well, let's have this post that says what you do like, because again, we got to look at it as both sides of the coin here. And the reason I'm going for that is because if we look at the RoboCraft Reddit right now, we can see actually there's a One Love You free jam, which is adorable. I haven't read that, so I hope that's nice. But the big thing is the RP price reductions, and I think RP price reductions, and it got to the point where these guys had to post a which I can't see here for some reason, but there was a little alert bar saying, any non-constructive posts about the RP reductions will be, deleted immediately, kind of thing. And we really shouldn't be getting to this point. This is our community as much as it's everybody else's, and we really need to try and remain constructive for our feedback. So I know this isn't a gameplay video. I even have the game open, and people immediately are going to be like, "Oh my God, you go to the Pirate Bay?" And it's like, yeah, but I go to the Pirate Bay for the 3D printing downloads. So I download 3D printing graphic files. So don't worry about that. If you want to look at some other cool things I'm looking at, Cinemassacre is awesome for the angry video game nerd. Same with Screw Attack. The best of YouTube's great. You can get all of YouTube, at least the best of it, in a short little while. Twitch for all my friends. Did you know gaming? Um, what else do we got in here? We got some Think Geek. That's a great website to go to if you're into geeky stuff. And yeah. So I hope you had fun looking at my bookmark bar and looking at my Reddit posts, and hopefully I hit a few chords for some people, and they realize, hey, maybe I should stop being an immature person and look at things from a more constructive point of view. But yeah, don't worry, this isn't the only video today either. We're definitely going to have a gameplay video after this. I'm going to bust out my Poseidon here, and we're gonna do. I think we're gonna do a battle arena this time. It's been a while since we've done a battle arena, but I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.